Welcome to Monetize Your Passion, the podcast for moms looking to make money from their passions while making a positive impact in the lives of others. I'm Tara Lon, content strategist and certified life coach. I want to help you leverage the power of content creation, organic marketing, and goal setting so you can turn your God-led passion and purpose into profit. My prayer is that you'll find inspiration from God, encouragement, and practical ways to monetize your passion. Hello and welcome to the show. So in this episode, I'm going to share a snippet from a live training that I did with a group of newer entrepreneurs. And this was a 4-week training session. This week, we're talking about brand building and how to build your brand across your platforms. So I'm going to ask a series of questions. It's going to be broken out into 2 segments, and it's going to be a group of 10 questions in each bucket. So make sure you have a notebook or a journal so you can take notes as you go. And feel free to pause the episode or come back to it as you see fit. So just so we're on the same page, a business brand is the identity and the perception of a business in the minds of its customers. So it encompasses everything that distinguishes you from your competition. So that can include your name and logo, your mission, your core values, your visual identity, your voice, the customer experience, plus more. So just so we're on the same page and you have a base of what a business brand is, in this episode, I'm going to go into more details so you have a framework when I'm asking these questions and it can help you with establishing your brand identity. So I really think you'll get a lot of value today. So let's get into it. So you building your brand and the perception that people have of your brand, it helps to set you apart from everyone else out there. And that's why I stress so much about like the niching, because we're not trying to be like everyone else. We're trying to be an expert in our field. And with that and with our brand, that's also going to be set apart, like how we look, how we present our brand, how we present what we offer. That all goes into brand building. So I like to start something, especially for new entrepreneurs. Oh, by the way, the questions, the templates that I sent you, can you guys pull those up so you have them ready to fill out? So what I would ask you is, what are the 4 key themes or topics that your brand will consistently share with your audience to communicate your message and your values? So I'll just give you an example for mine. My brand is Tinseltown Mom. And I did rebrand this year, but the main themes are monetization and marketing, passion and purpose, faith, because that's something that's very important to me, and compelling interviews. And my hope is that through all of these things that I offer, I can help a mom to tap into that passion or that purpose that she has, monetize it, and be encouraged to actually pursue it. So my brand themes, I'm hoping will communicate that message to my audience. So if you think about your business, and again, you can change it, but just right now thinking about it, what are 4 things that you want to consistently share with your audience? And when I say share with your audience, you're going to be sharing these themes on social media, on your website. It's something that you'll present when you're speaking to your clients. What are 4 key themes or topics that your brand will consistently share with your audience to communicate your message and your values? So this is my website. Well, it's just a screenshot of it. So I had this built 10 years ago. And when I was trying to think of what I wanted my website to look like, I had some things in mind. It started as a blog, but I've built it into a business. But initially, it was more of a hobby. So I did not build this website myself. I'm not gifted in that area. So I had to hire a graphic designer to build it for me. But when we were going over my brand and what we wanted it to look like, even though this is a blog, I let her know that I wanted it to look more like a magazine because I knew I'd be having interviews. I knew, some of these larger magazines, they had a different style than just quote unquote mommy blogger blog. So I really wanted to set myself apart from the average mommy blogger, because mommy blogging was really big 10 years ago. And there was a certain look to it, but I didn't want to have that look. I wanted to set myself apart. I also like the color lavender and purple, as you can see. You can even see in my background. And the lady that I chose, that's what she specialized in, lavender themes and lavender websites. And I knew that this color, it was a popular color. It's a color that resonates with a lot of women. I wanted people to come to my website and just feel at home and feel like, oh, I just want to keep scrolling and I want to see more and I want to learn more. So those are things back in the day that I was thinking about when I was building my brand. So again, that's just a screenshot. So as we move on, these are my social media channels, my Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. And as you can see, the theme looks very similar. The colors, the content. So my content themes, when I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to post on my social media? I already have the themes that are part of my business, my brand. So now I know what type of content my audience is expecting. And that's something that you should also be thinking about when you're thinking about your brand. You want it to reflect your website, your social media, just everything. Like everything should be cohesive. So now I'm going to ask you some questions about your brand so you can get out your template. All right. So when describing your brand, this is going to help you really narrow down and figure out your brand and what it should look like and feel like. So what is your business mission? And again, this is going to be part of your homework questions because you're probably going to be having to think about this and mull over all of these questions. What do you want to accomplish through your work, products, or services? And this might be where you talk about how you want to help people. Do you want to help people build community? Do you want to help them plan their events? Do you want to help them feel beautiful? All right, number 3, and I know we've talked about this before. Who is your target audience? And then number 4, what problem do you solve for your target audience? Next, what emotional connection do you hope to build with your customers through your brand? Like, how do you want them to feel when they come to your website or your social media, for example? Or even when you're explaining what you do, how do you want them to feel? Maybe it's empowered. Maybe it's happy, joyful. And then number 6, how does your brand reflect your personal values and beliefs? And then number 7, how will you create consistency across your brand experience from online presence to customer service? So when people show up on any of your platforms, they should know, okay, this is Rebecca's floral arrangement shop, for example. Number 8, what are the top 3 words that you want people to associate with your brand? So here you might think of hashtags. Like if you're posting something on social media, which hashtags would you use? Hey mom, I wanted to let you know about a new service that I'm providing. Is your business in need of a content audit? Well, with over 10 years of experience creating content that has reached millions of viewers, I can help you optimize your content strategy to connect with your ideal customer. So this is a comprehensive content audit that will highlight your brand's strengths, uncover opportunities, plus provide practical steps to achieve your goals. I'll also include a 30-day content calendar that will give you topic ideas tailored to your brand goals. Additionally, I'll give you a personalized step-by-step guide to implement these changes immediately. So if this sounds like it could be of value to you, click the link in the show notes. Maybe we can work together. All right, now let's get back into this episode. So I think we're on number 9. What are the key messages or themes that you want your brand to communicate? And we talked a little bit about that at the beginning. Like, what are your brand's themes? And then how do you differentiate your business from competitors? All right, so we're going to talk about social media now because it is connected with the brand. Are you Are you ladies familiar with Canva?
Yes.
Okay. I love Canva. I think Canva should be everyone's friend. And it's a great tool to make everything consistent with your brand, especially if you can't hire a graphic designer or you're not a graphic designer yourself, then Canva is wonderful. So if you can take out your template for social media, so based on your brand and what you're offering, what is the main social media platform that you'll show up on? So if you're more visual, it might be Pinterest or Instagram. If it's more business, it might be LinkedIn or a combination. And then how often will you post content? All right. So, and again, this is social media strategy, which, even if you don't have social media right now, a lot of potential customers do look at social media. I know I do. So, what tone or voice do you use on social media? And does it align with your brand values? Or will it, I should say? Are you using visual content, photos, videos, graphics to tell your brand story and engage your audience? So that's just an example, Heather, of what I was talking about. Like when you're helping clients set up their marketing or their communications or whatever it is, social media is a good place to actually show that as like a portfolio of your work. So that's what I do now. So that's why I asked you ladies at the beginning, what are your 4 themes? And, one of my themes is compelling interviews. So anytime I interview someone on my platform, I show a little snippet, like a little video snippet on my Instagram or my Facebook to give people an idea of what I do. And then they could go to one of my bigger platforms to see like the whole interview. It's almost like I'm marketing on my social media. So they could see a little bit of what I do, but it'll pique their interest and they'll go on to my website or wherever and see the whole thing of what I'm offering or providing. All right, number 5 is how do you engage with your followers? Are you actively responding to comments and messages? And I would recommend if you have the capacity to do that, I try to respond to all comments on my social media because that's a way to actually meet people. They kind of get a feel of your personality and they may want to do business with you. Like the very first interview I had, I met her 10 years ago on X. It was Twitter back then. And then number 6, what are your core audience's interests, challenges, and values? Again, that'll give you insight on how you'll post and what you'll post. So based on your brand's 4 themes or topics, what type of content will you post? And that's what we talked about at the beginning. What are your brand's 4 themes? Because really to make this easier for yourself, because a lot of people struggle with, okay, what do I post on social media? Like I don't have anything to say. If you think about your 4 themes and your topics, like for you, Heather, maybe one of your themes is, helping small businesses set up. I'm just saying Zoom. I don't know why I keep saying Zoom. Their Zoom background, for example. So maybe every other post or every few posts, it'll be a Zoom background, and someone may see the Zoom background and say, oh, wow, I love that Zoom background. How can I get that Zoom background? I'm just making it up. I'm sure it's more complex than that. And then number 8, I think we mentioned this a little bit before. What hashtags will you use? And are they a mix of popular and niche specific hashtags? So they definitely should be theme related. So when people are searching for something, like that's how I found my last graphic designer. I literally went on Instagram and I put in the hashtag, I forgot, it was something graphic designer. I was looking, I think it was logo graphic designer or something very specific. So I put it in the search And that's how I found the last person who rebranded for me, through Instagram. So people are looking for vendors, etc., on social media. And then number 9, have you considered collaborating with other brands or influencers to expand your reach? And this goes into marketing as well. So this is the top of my website. This is the very bottom. Do you see this? This is social proof, as seen on People, Access Hollywood, BuzzFeed, etc. These people have all attributed my magazine in some form or fashion, or I've been on their show or whatever.
Okay.
If you have any of that social proof, like UC San Francisco or the mayor or whomever, collect that, because you're going to need that for your website. You're going to need that to try to get more business.
Okay.
Like you could say, even when I'm trying to get celebrity interviews, when I'm talking to a publicist, I'll say, oh yeah, I just interviewed Jenny McCarthy about her brand. I wanted to see if Kim Kardashian was, I'm just making it up. I'm going to see if Kim Kardashian might be interested. Do you know what I mean? You need that social proof. You can build on that, and that'll help you bring in more business. All right, so let me just get back to this. So that's a collaboration. So number 10 is, how will you ensure your content remains aligned with your brand's mission and vision? So as much as possible, you want to make sure everything is cohesive, your values and everything aligned with your brand. And I know for me, as I've refined things over the year, I'm very specific on who I will work with. Like, even though a publicist will ask, oh, can you interview my client? Like, they've even been a celebrity and I've had to decline it because it didn't align with my brand and the mission. And it's okay for you not to have that collaboration or whatever as part of your brand if it doesn't align with your core values and your mission and your brand overall. Are there any social media struggles that you're having right now that you want to ask about? Or any struggles at all with your business or anything? Like, anything you want to ask, you can ask me anything now.
How do you deal with feeling burnt out from your business? Or not feeling passionate about it anymore?
Good question.
That is a great question, because I did feel not burnt out, but because when I was building my brand, I was still working a full-time demanding job. And I was also building a full-time brand. Like, I was literally interviewing people in my car during my lunch hour, like working around the clock, literally. Mm-hmm. So there was a period where I did feel not as passionate about the blog. It was before I had my podcast. I am a strong person of faith. So I had to ask God, like I said, I believe that you gave me this platform. Like, what do you want me to do with it? So I felt like he wanted me to keep it, but build upon it, which is when I built upon the podcast. And I felt like when I built that or started that podcast, that brought me more fulfillment with my business, because I felt like I was helping another group of people and I wasn't just focused on the celebrity mom piece. Because honestly, there was a season where I was like, okay, do people even care to hear from celebrity moms? Like, I was thinking that. But it wasn't just about the celebrity moms. It was about something bigger than that, and about, moms getting what they needed in the phase of life that they were in. But I did feel like during that season, I needed confirmation that this platform was something that was a gift and I needed to keep it, but build upon it. So I do feel like when you go through seasons like that, sometimes there's a transition that might need to happen. Because when I first even moved out to Los Angeles from the Bay Area, it was to pursue an acting career. But after pursuing it for 5 years, I no longer had a passion for it. But I needed those acting skills because my passion evolved into writing. But I needed those acting skills to help me, like, even build this brand today, Tinseltown Mom, because Tinseltown is synonymous with Hollywood, and it's a place where people come to dream. Anyone can come dream in Hollywood. So I felt like, even though, your early passions, let's say you're not passionate about the candles, I feel like you still needed that experience and those passions, because I feel like it can grow into something else and bigger. So if after listening today and you feel like your brand is in need of a content audit, remember I can help you get to your bottom line. Feel free to book a content audit session with me and let me help you come up with a strategy for your content marketing. The link will be in the show notes. I hope this episode was helpful for you today. I hope you got some valuable insight. If you did, would you do me a favor and share this with another mom who could use this? As you know, my platform is meant to be a blessing to mothers, so any support from you would be so appreciated. Until next time.